Hi everyone, we are Valeria de la Vega, Sebastián Zurita y Justin Nicolalde. Today we are going to talk about Industrias Licoreras Asociadas S.A. It is a company that is dedicated to the preparation of different types of liquors through the fermentation and distillation of a variety of fruits. A little about this company. It was born as a family business that was created on August 14 in 1962. Firstly, this company was located in the city of Puyo, province of Pastaza, but then this company moved to Ambato, located in Ecuador. This company is dedicated to the cultivation of sugarcane as well as the distillation and rectification of aguardiente. Aguardiente is a kind of liquor that is made by the fermentation and distillation of sugarcane. Before of all, we called and sent many emails to this company, and they kindly provide us with the necessary information to be able to elaborate different flowcharts and understand the wine making process from the receipts of the fruits to the packaging to the final product. Okay, we will talk about the product of this company. They produce rum, liquors of different flavors, aguardiente, vodka, and wine. And we will talk about specifically about the process of wine making, the materials, ingredients, and the equipment needed for the wine fermentation, and why the role of biotechnology component is important in the elaboration.
Now we're going to talk about the wine process itself. Here we have the flow diagram. We can see it consists of 11 steps, and the fermentation is the third step, which is the most important one. In this step, the biotechnological innovation happens. So I'm going to explain each of them. First, we have the fruit. Depending on the final product, it could be a single fruit or a combination of fruits. So this diagram is a general one. Now we have the reception. In the reception, they put the fruits in two groups. The first group are the ones that pass the quality control process. In this process, the fruit has a good looking visual. This fruit doesn't have damages. It didn't broke during transportation. And in the other group, the fruit is maybe too mature, has some imperfections, and things like that. Now in the reception also happens the washing and the disinfection of the fruits. In the washing, they use regular water, normal water, and in the disinfection, they use hypochlorite. After they wash the useful fruits for the process, they make a weighing process. In the weighing process, they weigh a certain amount that allows them to make a certain amount of product, a final product. The weighing process depends on the wine that they want to make. After the weighing process, we have the fermentation. The fermentation is the most important step. In this step, we have 45 days of action. The fermentation is made by the yeast, the yeast that they choose for the wine process. We're going to explain later which yeast is. So we have the fruit inside a fermenter. We have the correct temperature, the correct pH of the medium, the pressure for the yeast to reproduce. So the fermentation happens, and in the fermentation we have metabolites. These metabolites will be useful for the rest of the final product, and these metabolites are going to be explained later also. After that, we have the decanting process. In here, it's a kind of filtration. In this we have two phases, the liquid phase and the solid phase. It also could be liquid phase, but in this case it's solid phase, liquid phase, because we didn't have a machine that pressed the fruit and make a mechanical process. So we have two phases, the solid one and the liquid one. We want the liquid one. So in the decanting, the solid phase remains in a device, and the liquid flows to another container in a hydration phase. In this hydration phase, the company used three things: water, stabilizer, and sweetener. The quantities we don't know exactly, but they use for certain purposes. The water is for making a more efficient process. They don't want to use all the fruit, just the water of the fruit. They don't want to use only that. They want to use additional water so they can make a lot of product. They also use stabilizer. This stabilizer will be useful for maintaining a better shelf life in the final product, and a specific sweetener. This sweetener will be useful for the taste of the wine and for maintaining a correct environment for the yeast, because they will use the sweet. Now we have the mix process. In this mix process, all the solids that were added before in the hydration are put in homogenization. So we have now a fluid that is homogenized in a certain way. But for a better final product, we made a filtration. In the filtration, we maybe take out what the decanting process didn't do for the solids. So in the filtration, we take out the solids remained, and we take the final fluid. Now after the filtration, we have the packaging. The packaging is also a very important process, because we want to have a better shelf life for the wine. And they use glass packaging for the wine. They use glass because this kind of package can protect the product from sunlight, can protect them from aerosols, from external dangers like microbes in the air. Also, if they use glass, they assure that the materials itself from the glass don't pass through the wine, so the wine can achieve the shelf life that is commonly known for. So after the packaging, we put the label. In the label, they put the specific amount of alcohol that the product has, the certain percentage. That it depends on each wine, depending on also the fruit and things like that. After the label, we have the final package. These are packaging containers, big containers that are mostly made up of carton or wood. And finally, we have the distribution. In the distribution, they achieve to distribute around all the Ecuador, so all the fermentation process occurs in big fermenters, so they can provide for all the places.
Okay, now we are going to analyze the biotechnological components. The winemaking uses several ingredients, and we want to know the ones that are biotechnological ingredients. So during the winemaking, a fermentation process is carried out with a biotechnological yeast, and the fermentation substrate is based on different types of fruits which are not biotechnological. Also, they used stabilizers, sweeteners, and they also are not biotechnological components. The winemaking also used a component that is called diatomaceous earth, uses in the pre-filtering process during the packaging of the products like wine. Okay, the importance of these biotechnological ingredients, in this case the yeast, is because it performs the alcoholic fermentation for the production of the wine. The yeast is responsible for the degradation and conversion of sugar of the different fruits into ethanol. Here we have a small diagram that explains that the yeast cell uses the sugar of the different fruits and produce a fermentation. The sugar is the substrate that realize the energy in an ATP form, and the fermentation produce a reaction that create ethanol and CO2. Okay, the biotechnological yeast source is called Saccharomyces cerevisiae. This yeast is also used in bread productions or bread products, so it is obtained from a commercial brand in baking processes. Then we ask the business if they use transgenic ingredients, but they didn't, because in Ecuador it is not allowed to use transgenic or recombinant ingredients, in this case for the production of the wine.
About the transgenic food opinion. Transgenic food can provide the increase about the nutritional value in the products, thus fixing problems such as malnutrition and being accessible in areas of scarce resources. Also, reduce the production time of the food, being the most efficient and productive process. For example, the use of genetically modified microorganisms to obtain various food components. However, food industries need to be responsible for the dissemination of correct and timely information about this topic through education campaigns. And all of this is because Ecuadorian legislation prohibits transgenic products by saying that the biodiversity in Ecuador must be preserved. However, this concept is very poorly managed, since the government must be in charge of regulating the good practice of transgenic or biotechnology modified components. These types of foods have the ability to adapt to the requirements of countries with nutritional deficiencies, as mentioned above. To the elaboration of wine could be implemented modified components such as yeast types that make the fermentation process more efficient, saving time and increasing the production. However, it is something that could be discussed in the future with new possible reforms. Thank you.